Since its release, the Resident Evil series has given millions of gamers around the world the willies. It's also tried to shock gamers in new ways and evolve with each game, such as true 3D environments and panning camera angles in Code Veronica, light guns in Umbrella Chronicles, and even online co-op in the Outbreak games.
But it wasn't until Resident Evil 4 that the series really grabbed us again, introducing more interesting and rich environments, accessible puzzles, heart-stopping action, and an over-the-shoulder camera view that once again made killing the undead a horrifically enjoyable experience. And Badge, let's forget for a moment that they midi-chlorian the story up a bit with the zombie virus.
Yeah, agreed. Resident Evil 5 builds on everything that worked in RE4 and takes our protagonist Chris Redfield into Africa, where Umbrella bioweapons are being used by terrorists. The story is told well, and mini cutscenes fill in the action gaps, but the main cinematics are possibly the most exciting and just the best edited we've ever seen.
Oh my God.
Some include QuickTime events, which aren't too intrusive, so they actually let you sit back and enjoy the action. In fact, sometimes you just let your character die just so you can watch it again. Jung, there really is an art to getting that right, isn't there?
Absolutely, Badge. Teaming up with Sheva, pretty soon you'll be slicing and dicing your way through a variety of new and familiar enemies. There's your standard groaning zombies, who are sometimes on motorbikes, leaping dogs, blind lickers, giant spiders, and a colossal glut of horrifying bosses. All this diversity just makes up for the fact that you can't actually walk and do anything else at the same time. You can't even break from reloading, which can be a big pain sometimes because some enemies kill you in one hit if they get up close and personal.
It's a Resident Evil staple not to be able to shoot while moving, and the only game that actually changed that was one of the Outbreak ones, and it was also one of the worst. But Jung, after playing so many Gears-like games which had this kind of view, it made me feel like this was a bit... what's the word I'm looking for?
Awkward for no reason?
It's the wonkiest of donkeys, and this kind of forced anxiety by locking the camera view while reloading might be a deal breaker for some newcomers. But, you know, the rest of the game is just so good, pretty soon you forget about all of this, and switching weapons to finish off with a shotgun mid-battle is just awesome.
And it's good to do this too, Badge, because some zombies die quicker to different weapons or ammo. There's a comeback system of sorts where if you die, you're taken straight to the buying screen where you can buy new items or health pickups or sell what you found.
Action is deliciously unpredictable. Often you'll have quiet time for a while, and then a massive boss fight, and then another massive boss fight, and then a whole bunch of cutscenes, and then quiet time again.
Even though most tactics revolve around shoot the weak spot, move back, reload, rinse and repeat, some of the bosses have some pretty fun moments, and it's really when you get overwhelmed in numbers that the game can get quite exciting trying to find new ground.
Yeah, you really need to make use of that 180-degree turn shortcut. Resident Evil has always played around with companions and using other characters to solve puzzles, but never quite got it right. Often you felt like you were just babysitting someone, you know, rather than them actually helping you. Here, the entire game is offline split screen or online co-op, and you can do this with an AI partner as well.
Like most games with co-op, that's where most of the fun lies. However, if you don't have a mate, the AI is almost as good. It'll avoid obstacles, give you ammo if you have that type of weapon, and it's only really at the final boss that it let us down.
But by having a companion the whole way through the game, you don't get that same Tomb Raider feeling of being very alone, which is one of the greatest things about the survival horror genre. And if you're not going to play this with another human person, I think that you'll probably still rather wish you were on your own.
Which is, I guess, why Resident Evil 5 is more focused on the action, and as you can tell, there's plenty of it, including a barrel conveyor belt.
It's such a polished game with some well-thought-out moments and excellent endgame unlocks. And Jung, the only thing stopping me from giving this full marks is that frozen on the spot thing. I'm giving it 9 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 8.5.
Good game!
This week's great moment in gaming goes to a favorite scare from Resident Evil 1. Of course, the game was chock full of scares, but the one that holds in our memories as having the most impact goes to zombie dogs. When they first smashed through the glass in that all-too-familiar corridor, gamers knew that they were in for an unpredictable ride, and consequently were put on edge for the rest of the game. And that's why it's this week's great moment in gaming.